Right, so let's start with arriving from a busy day, from to-do lists, cell phones, calendars, traffic. Can take some deep breaths, focusing on the breathing, and allowing all these things to recede in the distance. Using the breath awareness as an anchor into just now. It's natural if the mind sends us baits. Just seeing the thought and being closed for business. Coming back to being aware. Being present to the body breathing. And allowing the jaw to relax, the face, eyeballs. And scanning the body now, we can take off the breathing and scan the body like the shoulder blades, back of the neck. Allowing that to unwind. The hips. The legs, the belly. As if we are on a beach somewhere, well-deserved vacation. Just being present. Now, being present to the totality of the now, noticing the flow of this data that keeps showing up, sounds in the head, images, energies in the body. As they appear in this aware field. Having this attitude of loving indifference, non-interference towards what arises in awareness. Let it come, let it stay, let it go. Nothing to analyze, nothing to figure out. We don't need thoughts in order to be present, to witness. Allowing everything to be as it is, just as an experiment. Especially if there are any bodily energies, tensions, unpleasantness. Resting as this gracious host, which allows for these things to come out, not trying to make them come out. Welcoming the fullness of the now. Without resisting anything. Without going into the past or the future. Notice that all these perceptions, thoughts, energies in the body and sounds, they appear to you. They fade away. And checking experientially, not intellectually, checking and noticing, where do these thoughts come from? It's not an intellectual question. It's more like staying present, noticing the place from which they bubble up. Not going with like from the brain or from the mind. This is some thought. Checking experientially. It's like this flying fish. As teacher David Hawkins was saying, right, the mind is like flying fish. It's just being here, and a thought comes up like a flying fish. And usually we are not alert. So the flying fish keeps flying and develops another thought that becomes a story. But what we try here to notice the flying fish as early as possible. Not follow it. Just noticing the arising or the disappearance of the thought back from where they come from. it's easier sometimes to notice the disappearance of thoughts. Like we are meditating here and then we realize there's this thought here, it's image, whatever. And then we just let it be and not engage. And we watch it like a wave reaching a shore. It dies, merges back to where it came from. And perhaps staying this interval between the next thought, noticing that in which thoughts arise, the interval between them. Notice that the thoughts are not continuous. And when the thought falls off, you don't fall off, we remain. What is it that remains when the thought dissipates? Being interested in that experientially. Noticing this invisible yet real background, call it, or the substratum, that in which these thoughts and images and sensations appear. It's ever present, yet we are so used to focusing on what arises, on something, we don't notice that in which they arise. When these words, this voice arises in the same awake space in which the thoughts arise. Some traditions, they would call this the yoga of the interval, or this meditation of tuning into the inner silence, the aware silence which hears these words. So taking a little bit of time to sense this silent aware space. In which agitation, pain, thoughts appear, being less interested in the content, being interested in this aware background. which is none other than what we are, what is always present. And now shifting attention again towards the content, the energies, the sensations in the body. Notice whatever arises seemingly in the body. Notice and allow. Notice that whatever sensations we have, they are like free floating in a somethingness that's invisible. Notice the background as well in which the sensations appear. We can offer any tension, anything, we can offer all thoughts, all feelings, all sensations, all sounds, offer them to the space in which they arise. Not doing anything about what arises, let the space handle it. Initially, this is hard to investigate because we have lots of thoughts that we check out with each one of them. So that's why they recommend to begin first with some mindful breathing, allowing for the flux of thoughts to be a little bit slower. So whatever your situation is, noticing and not getting involved with content. And being globally present to also sounds, the body, freestyle. And now we can also, maybe these pointers of mine or these suggestions, they create a sense of doing or a sense of practicing, a sense of effort. See if you can let go of any spiritual effort, meditation effort, any goals, meditation goals. Allowing ourselves to just be effortlessly, goalless, And sensing this sense of this perceiving is happening by itself. Don't need effort. Hear, sense. This aware presence is awareing for living by itself. And without changing anything at all, in any shape or form, except gradually allowing the eyelids to open, but still remaining, changing nothing, but allowing the eyelids to open. Looking around, just we can even allow the eyes to look wherever they want, but not changing anything. Globally present to the present. We don't really need thoughts to see. We don't, for sure, we don't. We can play with this contemplation, like look around as if you are a newborn child or an alien from another dimension. If the mind produces some thoughts, some comment, notice and don't get involved. This is very good exercise because it makes this presence less compartmentalized. It's not just on a cushion, special time. It can be as you drive, as you walk a little bit.